I see you, Catherine. Misbehaving. You're bullshit. Just remember this, chat. I want never to hear about this again, or I'm going to make you remind living hell. But hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekly Steelchair for your AEW Double or Nothing review. We certainly have a long-winded review to get through. A little bit of fun and games, a bit of entertainment. Catherine's misery because she's on next level hating because she doesn't like good booking. But we're in for a good show, and won't happen. We're in for a good one tonight. Simply put, this is going to be quite the show. Now, if anybody dares asks me about Battleground, I'm going to immediately kick you from the stream. And don't think I won't. I will. If I see any other mention about the disgrace from yesterday, you're getting fucked off. Because seriously, I'll end up losing my temper. Yesterday, once and for all, the whole concept of partnership effectively left the building. And I see the TNA accounts. I see them out there going, "Oh, this is historic. Hooray. Historic." And then they will eventually realize they've screwed up. The main event was fine. Again, you're just letting your emotional feelings get in the way of the fact it was actually done correctly. And what's even funnier is I predicted the opposite result, and I'm still happy. I had the exact opposite result, and I'm actually happy either way. All right, Billy. But yeah, James, I appreciate it. Yeah, yesterday was officially the end of one company. So that really fucking sucks. Yep, Hangman cost there was a lot of really interesting results yesterday, throughout the entire show. So I'm just quickly. I definitely lost a few yesterday, but that's only because of how interesting the show was. So I'm just quickly getting all the ones I had wrong. TNA. No more. Just make sure I've got everybody's correct results, everybody's wrong results, just so I can mark them on here before we share the screen. Because you guys know we share the screen, we have fun. Got that one. That one as well. I watched the post scrum. I really shouldn't have. I should have went to sleep. I didn't go to sleep until 8 o'clock this morning. really, really bad idea. Yeah, and that one. So almost there, guys. I'm just checking to see who's actually won this as well, because I want to reveal it. I want to see who our champion's going to be. So let me just quickly check. Interesting. There's a lot of matches that really were poor on the card, WrestleCook. Good to see you. I'm just counting some results. Give me 1 second. Because we might have a new champion. I'm just double checking. Yeah, James, you did lose this time. But you actually did really well. So let me just check. Because I want to make it fair to everybody. Like, everyone has a chance. Catherine, you really need to let the anger go. It will consume you. I actually think we have a tie. Yeah, I watched through them. The questions were all stupid. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ladies and gentlemen, we have, and I'm not kidding, this is true, as it stands, we have a triple threat tie. So technically, by default, James would retain the title. But we might have to see how this goes. But we actually have a triple threat tie. So, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, I want you all to give a big congratulations to this month to Double or Nothing Predictions Trios tie. I want you all to give a round of applause for Billy, Zodiac, and Maria. Only one prediction wrong each. One wrong each, and I will confirm each one now. So, Zodiac, you and Billy both got the main event wrong. Maria, you got Anarchy in the arena wrong. I'm going to do the order as well, just so everybody knows. So, from the predictions order, so Billy, Maria, and Zodiac tie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 5 matches correctly. I got 4 wrong, which is shite. 5, 6, 7 from James. James, you only failed by 1. which is not bad. So you come in second. Catherine, you are in third. Stampede ties you as well. Well, that's embarrassing. He did, actually. He did. So yeah, Maria, Billy, and Zodiac all tied. Well done to the three of you. Anarchy in the Arena was a very hard one to call. Very, very hard to call. Watching all that last night was insane. Like I said, I stand by it. Only 2 matches on the entire card I did not give a flying fuck about. So, obviously we didn't have the official match order, so we just did the predictions based on what Wikipedia gave us. But we are, of course, going to go through this as best we can. So, let's begin. And we don't do pre-shows, so we're not going to review the buy-in. But from what's been said, according to some people, the buy-in matches were actually quite good. So if you did see the buy-in, give me your thoughts on those matches. I did not watch it at all. But I really should have done just for the women's tag. That's all I'm saying. Okay. No, I was fine with that match. The one that I did not care about, the one I didn't care about was the World Tag Team title match and FTR versus McGuinness and Garcia. Yeah, they're not really interesting. I only watched Lance Archer in the buy-in, left you a comment on yesterday's stream about it. I saw, thank you. I've not had a chance to respond to it yet, but I did see. And I have standards, and I don't watch. And after last night's fuckery, nah, never gonna happen again. If I see anything about that main event, anyone mentions that main event, you're gone. I'm not having any of that shit. This is a pay-per-view review, not a developmental tour. Just going to go through some comments before we proceed. So Mercedes versus Timeless Toni is the biggest women's match in AEW history. As it stands, yes. Hello, Stussy. How are you? I hope you're killing forearms. But yeah, in terms of match 2, you are... I agree with you, my friend. You are absolutely spot on. Billy, please don't. Please don't. You'll just anger me, dude, and I don't want to really lose my temper. Because if I have to review it, I'll end up going psycho. And for me, there's no excuse either. Before anyone even tries that, there's no excuse. Yesterday was just the end. That's it. Right. Anyway, let's move on and let's actually review professional wrestling. No, it's not biased at all. I've already explained why. No, I'm Oh. Okay. You know what? Technically, it is a even. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. We'll put it to the chat as a vote. We'll put it to the chat as a vote. Do we quickly go over that shit show? Or do we move on and review what is considered right now potentially AEW's best pay-per-view ever? It's up to the chat. I know which one I'd rather do. Too much emotion. Yeah. They did. Yeah, thank God we got the right call. Yeah, long story short, WWE, thanks for fucking up my favourite company. You're the biggest piece of cunts in the planet. You're the biggest cunts in the planet. So fuck WWE. Alright, there you go. But let's move on. So, we begin, of course, with the entertainment that is... Actually, you want to see how in depth they actually went into their matches last night? Look at this. This is something I want you guys to see. In terms of length of pay-per-view last night, see in terms of match lengths, look at these. These are just the main roster. Not the main roster, sorry, the main card. If the chat cook you, I'm staying out of it. Because I thought the match was extraordinary. Here is the match lengths from last night. So, speaking of Mercedes Moné, her match versus Jamie Hayter went 21 minutes 15 seconds. FTR went a minute and a quarter longer than this, which is absolutely astounding. Ricochet in the stretcher match went 16 minutes 20 seconds. The Hurt Syndicate versus the Sons of Texas went 12 minutes 35. Okada versus Speedball Mike Bailey, which for me was one of the best matches of the night, went just over 16 minutes. In an unsurprising time limit given, Mina Shirakawa versus Timeless Toni Storm went 15 minutes 49 seconds. Anarchy in the Arena went 35 minutes 10 seconds. The Don Callis family versus Paragon, which was actually a very good cool-down match before the main event, 12 minutes 50. And the main event between Hangman Adam Page and Will Ospreay was 4 seconds short of 37. We nearly had a 37-minute main event. All in all, including entrances, time-wise, using the production really well, for each match on the main card, that's very good timing. Bar one of them, this one. This match went, I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. This match here went 22 minutes and 30 seconds longer than it should have. This match went 12 minutes and 35 seconds longer than it should have. I would have given the full 35 minutes 5 seconds. I would have given this to Timeless Toni Storm. I would have given it to I would have given it to Timeless Toni Storm. I would have given at least an extra 10 minutes to this. Mercedes versus Jamie Hayter in the opener. And I actually would have gave another 10 minutes or so more to the stretcher match, not the speedball match, because that's 20 minutes. I would have gave that a little bit longer. I would have given 10 minutes to them, a 25-minute women's match for the title, another 5-6 minutes maybe for Mercedes Moné, which is okay. 27 minutes is fine for her. All-round base, I would have given a lot more. I actually would have given these guys at least another 5-6 minutes as well, because I actually like the balance of the trios tag. Apart from 2 tag team matches that didn't stand out, this pay-per-view was used very, very well. And I don't often give Tony Khan credit, and that is true. Before anyone comes at me saying, yes, you do, I don't actually. If you go back and look at how they balanced the show last night, they really put a lot into All in terms of adding to their stories, which I actually think is very important. If they don't do that, this would have been a bust. If they didn't do that, it would have been a bust. Robert, good evening, sir. Double or Nothing was the best pay-per-view of the year so far. I don't. I love my family and I love my closest friends, but I don't love Tony Khan, thank you. My very, very, very closest friends, they mean the world to me. So, go on then. I'm going to throw out to you before we even review this. What did you find boring? The fact that it was a competitive match? Would you rather it be 10 minutes of stare downs and rest holds? I just want to know what you're basing it on. Where was the boredom? There's some things I would change in the match that still reflect how good it was, but what's wrong with this match at all? You get to see lots of back and forths. You get to see the control of Mercedes Moné, who's the better wrestler out of the two. You get to see Jamie Hayter invoke her powerhouse strength. The only thing I can legitimately critique on this match that really had me concerned was the very end of the match. I only have one major critique. That roll up at the very end, that to me looked like a botch. It looked like a botch because Jamie Hayter looks like her head gets driven into the mat, and at that point I was quite worried. That's the good thing about a wrestling match. I'm going to say this part is really important, so please listen to what I'm about to say. When you're in a competitive match that has jeopardy, you need the balance of pace. You need the fast... You need the fast pickups. You need the slow, competitive holding aspects of the match that was clever. You need one person to really shut the opponent down as best they can. Here's a very fun thing for you that I actually think might change your opinion. You said you're a big fan of Tessa Blanchard versus Jordynne Grace, yeah? And I happen to really like that match. That match is the exact same. Different company, different women, same style of match. What's the problem with it? There's nothing wrong with having slow elements in the match. I actually like a balance of pace. I don't like when a match is just constantly slow. I like it when you get the adrenaline kick in. You get the technical excellence. You get the punch, the barrage of punches, the diving attacks. You get a balance of wrestling in this match. In terms of quality, this is one of the strongest matches that AEW's put on for a consistent amount of time. And here's another thing. Here's another thing about this match. This is probably the most important match Jamie Hayter's had in a long time since she's came back from injury. She managed to go 20 minutes when I was concerned about her ring shape. Being slow is a smart thing, though. Not always being slow, but you're slow when it matters. Like, that's important. Pinchy. I'm assuming you're at a building site. Because that's quite the that's quite the take. It's certainly a possibility, Robert, the way things are going. I've got a little bit of a controversial opinion on it, but there's elements to it. But all in all, we got a very good matchup here, and I like the technical excellence that we got from Mercedes Moné. I thought it combats Jamie Hayter's powerhouse style really well. I was very surprised by the crowd. That part had me surprised. Like, I didn't expect it to be a 50-50 crowd. For me, this is a solid B+, A-, whatever you want to call it. For me, it's a very, very strong match, and it opens the show perfectly. The only thing for me that lets it down is, well, quite simply, it's that pinfall attempt. It concerned me a lot because it looked like Hayter got driven into the mat unintentionally, and there's little to no protection. So that's my only concern. I like the nuanced approach that Mercedes Moné had. It's a reflection throughout the tournament. So we see her in black and pink, again the colours of Owen Hart. Here's a reflection throughout the show. If you're dressed in the colours of the man whose tournament this is based on, yeah, you're not losing. That essentially summed up. Both winners wore the pink and black. Hangman wouldn't be my first choice to get the big stadium championship match, but it has been building up slowly. It has. It has indeed. See, that's the reality. If he is the main character as he is supposed to be, then absolutely. Is he going to do it though? I don't think so. If he's such a pussy, then why did CM Punk run from him? Just out of curiosity. Double or Nothing was way better than Mania and Backlash combined. 100%. Not even a debate. Not even a debate. And the reason why, and we know this, is because WWE just stopped caring about those two events, which is embarrassing. So this is going to be Drew losing at Clash again, more or less. We won't see him for a while. We'll come on to it. But Hangman winning was the right call. His redemption full circle if he wins. Exactly, Billy. Exactly. You mentioned MJF in the scrum. Watch MJF cost him. Oh, Catherine's hate for Hangman is right up there. Extra levels of hatred, which I find remarkable. Funny, but remarkable. I suppose if you're next level hating, you've got to go for it. So, carrying on with the women's opening match as well. You are consistent. At this point, I sometimes think Catherine is CM Punk's burner again. Damn. I think when you look at this match as well, and this is actually a very...
Oh, God.
Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. The push of Mercedes is draining my enjoyment of the show. If she wins the Ring of Honor title and the AEW Women's World title, that's overkill. Well, do you want me to spoil it for you? I was so mad last night. I said TK was the worst booker and his blackball from to be fair, you did on Matthew's group chat last night watching the live stream. It was fucking hilarious. It was fucking hilarious. Yeah, Zodiac definitely goes all in for the comments on Catherine. I can't. I'll end up breaking. There's one other part of this match that actually does need to be praised really well, and it's outside of the ring. It's outside of the ring, especially where you see the control is fully on Jamie Hayter. Now she nearly falls. Again, another horrific botch moment. Luckily, the camera zooms in very quickly, so you get less of it. But after that point, the control effectively slips away from Jamie Hayter, which is actually very good. Whoever booked this match, like the agent, whoever did book this match as the agent really paid close attention. Aries did it better, so did Omega. So here's the thing. If Mercedes wins all the belts as Becky 2.0, well, not kind of. She held 2 world titles. She didn't go any beyond that. What Mercedes is doing is collecting everything. But she will be dropping a few of those soon. Like, I'm certain of that. Like, I'm dead certain. Up next, we have an attempt to get drunk. WrestleCoo, thank you for the subscribe, my friend. Appreciate it. Mercedes is more over than Becky Lynch. It's not even an argument there. Let's go through this. Yeah, Mariah May won't be there. She's done. Mercedes will beat Toni, but I think someone else will get involved. Mariah May won't. She's done. Like, it's officially over for Mariah May. It was a pay-per-view, take a damn bump. Oh, we're about to get onto that, but it was just embarrassing. Okay, this is 20 minutes of my life that I will never get back. And I had major reservations coming into this match anyway. But this match was simply horrific. And it's even more horrific considering there's 3 very good talents and an absolute bum in this match. This match would have been so much better if it was a 2-on-1 handicap match. Ow, my eye. Sorry, my eye's sore. Yep, it was cursed. But it's not even just the position, it was just awful. Oh dear God. Yep. Yes. 100%. He did nothing in this match last night remotely of interest. His timing was incredibly shit. His ring presence was poor. His use of tag team effort was weak as well. He was missing spots. Daniel Garcia needs to be told, mate, you're gone. Here's the funny thing. Jordan Grace has been deliberately made to slow down and has caused problems. Mercedes working slower in a match is different. Here's the funny thing. Jordan Grace went from working very, very accurately paced matches, fast and slow, to going very slow that it's nearly caused injuries. Because she's that good. And she's been made to work slow with development spooners. The funny thing is there's logic and there's comparison. Be real. I'm trying to make you laughing after that debacle of the other company. Oh, I know you're trying to make me laugh, and I think you might need to try something else to make me laugh. Robert says, I love AEW, but they need a brand split. Potentially, Robert, but I also think necessarily they need a roster trim. Before you do a brand split, I would trim some talent first. But a brand split, they did try it and it didn't work. There's potentially some ways they could do it though. I didn't mind Garcia a couple of years ago, but now what does he actually bring to the table? Nothing. I mean, he's young, but he offers nothing. Like, he has no personality. Is he a decent technical wrestler? Yes. No, I'm not saying release talent. Not like that. What I'm saying is you can put talent down on Ring of Honor. So Daniel Garcia. When he returns, Orange Cassidy. This might shock a few people, but I'm going to stand by it. Romero and Beretta. Then I would trim down Max Caster. I'm trimming down AR Fox. I think he's actually more perfect for them. Bandito stays on Ring of Honor. He shouldn't be on the main roster. I would keep him on Ring of Honor. I'm trimming down Action Andretti is potentially another one, but he's okay. Because he's got the tag scene. I think he would actually be okay for the tag scene, but that's a fair shout. You could put Crew on Ring of Honor, but then you don't have a lot. I think I would keep the Crew on AEW's main roster. I would put the Outrunners on Ring of Honor. I think Ring of Honor makes more sense for the Outrunners. Who else would I put on? I know she's the favourite to win the Ring of Honor Pure Women's Championship, but I'd put Deonna Purrazzo back on the AEW roster. And I would send... Ooh. Oh, there's quite a few. He has, actually. Chris Jericho, I think, should just be Ring of Honor. Daniel Garcia's bum friend. He should be on Ring of Honor, as should Daniel Garcia. So already I've named, 15, 16 people? You put them on Ring of Honor, that's okay. And that means you can keep the main roster fresh. The current talent that's on the main roster is enough to go with. And I think as well, personally for AEW, I would now, and it's not a negative either, this is actually a very good thing. For AEW now, I would not sign a talent for 2 years. I think you've got a good core roster that you can work around. I would keep Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara on Ring of Honor as well. So, I would put a 2-year block on signing talent. Not because it's a bad idea, but because of the talent they've got, now you can formulate the plan. I see AJ Styles. Now that's just not fair. You're using AJ Styles against me. That's just cruel. Alright, AJ Styles is an exception. Because he brings some extra credibility to the main roster scene. But I don't think they need to go all in for talent. Yeah, exactly. Work with what you've got. Because you never know. Like, you never know. Eddie Kingston, when he returns, Ring of Honor. I think Mark Briscoe should go to Ring of Honor and compete for the World Championship. I love Mark Briscoe, but I actually think it's the best place for him. Unless you're going to keep him competitive on AEW's roster, I don't know. But every talent I've mentioned, I'm not saying out of spite. I'm actually thinking about they might do much better down there. I know that. I'm just saying this is what I would do. Yes, same. Although last night I liked the match he had. That was very good. I genuinely thought Mark was going to win last night. That one had me shocked. I actually think for as good a match as it was, I think they got the result wrong. His last big match win, probably the last time he defended the Ring of Honor title before he dropped it. I don't know. It's been a while. It has been a while since he's won a big match, to be fair. In fact, no, to be fair, he did have some good wins in the Continental Classic. I suppose you could say the Continental Classic matches, but even then, that's the end of last year. So yeah. Yeah, that is true. Like, Ricochet is an exciting wrestler, but Mark Briscoe as a whole package is better than Ricochet. But Ricochet is excellent to watch, so you're actually getting you're getting a positive and a negative at the same time. It's certainly an odd debate, isn't it? It's certainly an odd debate. But back to this tag team monstrosity. I'm going to say something, and I really stand by this, and I want to see if people agree. Thumbs up if you agree, thumbs down if you don't. FTR generated 0 heat in that tag match last night. Thumbs up if you agree, thumbs down if you disagree. Alright, I'll put up as a banner. They tried I'm in the middle like Bob was. Ricochet is a channel changer for me. He's just like a kid in school trying to be cool but failing. Okay. So James agrees. He thinks FTR didn't draw any heat. Billy middle ground. Okay. Interesting. I think they've got the wrong person with them. It's a shame that he's no longer with TNA, because that would have helped as well. But for AEW right now, he's only been there at appearances, so it's possible. AEW must bring Tully Blanchard back for these guys. FTR, when they were a heel team, drew heat with Tully Blanchard. He's a heat magnet. FTR's heel turn is as good as Cena's. They both exactly, Catherine. They are both terrible heel runs. Spot on. Absolute shitfest for 2 heel runs. Neither of them have been good. Oh, could you imagine Tully Blanchard with FTR up against Christian Cage and Adam Copeland? Ooh. Imagine that, eh? I don't think they're going to be a heel tag team though, Catherine. I think they're going to be the baby faces. And I actually think they're going to win the tag team titles as a babyface. But I think they would be so much better as a heel team, though. Like, I love Adam Copeland as a babyface, but I think he's even better as a heel. Christian Cage is an excellent babyface, but he's one of the best heels you'll ever see. Especially if he just mugs them about. Oh yeah, 100%. Even with it's fine without Tully, but Tully would make it extra special. There's still a possibility that FTR might dump Stokely's shit away, and they might end up recruiting Don Callis. As an active wrestler, I agree. There's something about Christian that he just gets it. Like he shrugs it off. Like he's not a cool heel like he was in 2007, 2008 when he was an amazing heel. Now he's that type of heel where you really want to punch the guy. Like, he's that kind of heel now, and it fits so well. See, when Christian Cage initially was a heel years ago, all you wanted to do was punch him because he would say the most outlandish shit to wind people up. And he'd done it to look cool. And it was becoming too cool that eventually they had to turn him babyface. And that actually did some fun. But when he turned heel on Jungle Boy several years ago, that man went to a whole new extreme. And I'm here for it. Every damn day. I want it. I need it. I deserve it. I'm going to say this right now. Christian Cage actually, I'm not going to say what I'm going to say because it might upset people. Because they'll think that I'm being unfair. So actually, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I'm going to just leave you guys guessing. Because end of the day, guessing games are fun. But yeah, I don't think they drew any heat. This match was awkward. Nigel McGuinness and Cash Wheeler before he tried to blow someone's head off. We all know he likes his guns. They both hurt themselves in this match. Cash Wheeler, especially his knee, he lands heavy on that. McGuinness, I think it's his ankle. It doesn't look good. Impact on the body. But we get a Tower of London at least. We get his camel clutch elbow submission, which I've always rated. Daniel Garcia does use the Dragon Tamer on several occasions. Again, I will give him credit. It's a good move. Sharpshooter and Scorpion Deathlock are better, mate, but the Dragon Tamer is still a good move. We got several pile drivers as well. We got a sit out pile driver, and then we got a spike pile driver. I just want to say that was not a good idea. The Shatter Machine as well, and outside the ring, was good at least. FTR versus the Hurt Syndicate needs to happen at All In. I actually want a Fatal 4-Way match at All In for the titles, but I don't want FTR involved because I want them to get Copeland and Christian, unless Copeland and Christian get them all out in Canada, which is another possibility. Actually, hold on. I just realised something. Wait a minute. Hello, Roisin. How are you? Ladies and gentlemen, we actually have something very good this year. Yeah, we do. I completely forgot. So last year, it was literally 2 weeks apart, All In and All Out. This year, we get All In July, Forbidden Door in August, a full month, and then another full month later, we get All Out. We actually get, between All In and All Out, 2 full months. That's actually very helpful this year. What's the capacity for Scotiabank? For basketball, it's 19,800. Same for concerts, hockey and lacrosse, 18,800. Theaters, 5,200. Okay. So they'll be looking. I don't think they're going to get 19,800, but that's what they'll be looking for in terms of capacity. Maybe they get, what, 15 to 17,000? The pay-per-views sell really well. The Desert Diamond Arena from last night seats 19,000, and they did do very well. I don't know what the official capacity was for Double or Nothing, so I'm not going to go for it. I could try and find out. Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can find out. What's that account called? Oh yeah, this one. Have they confirmed? No, it doesn't say. I want FTR put in the position to be one of the teams to actually beat the Hearst Syndicate. A win over Garcia and Nigel doesn't do that, I don't believe. It doesn't. They need another big win first. Whatever that may be, I'm sure they'll cater to it, but I don't know. It's a good question though, Zodiac. For what do they go with? What do they not go with? Because I'm not entirely sure. Violence, blood used appropriately. Maybe a bit too excessive for blading. Good, I'm glad to hear it. And chilling watching. Very nice, very nice. We last night were treated to. Yeah, see? I'm the same, Robert. That's what I want. I think this is what we're going to get. He's going to call in a favour. He might get told to go fuck himself again, though. Who knows? What's Catherine saying? Okay, now I really hate this motherfucker. Catherine, did he really tweet that? That moron seriously tweeted that? Oh. Billy, are you still in the chat, dude? You know how you hate Sean Ross Sapp that much? So, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Ross Sapp last night, well, 15 hours ago, so actually earlier on today, Sean Ross Sapp tweeted something that is mind-numbingly disgusting. Now, thanks to Catherine, I'm going to show it, but this right here is why this guy is an absolute fool. So I'm going to show you. He tweeted something 15 hours ago that's mind-numbingly tedious. I don't know if you guys can see this, but let me try this one. Can you guys read that? If you can't read it, alright, hold on, I'll upload it. I'll do it this way. Come on, hurry up. Okay, so this is what Sean Ross Sapp tweeted last night. Again, it's too small. Hold on, I'll fix this. In fact, you know what? We're going to get it from the horse's mouth. Because Jesus Christ. Absolutely, always call them out. Here you go. And by the way, on the top reply is a TNA fan who's actually celebrating the result, which actually offends me because it's a good account. He said that, ladies and gentlemen. One absolute imbecile. I wish I fucking knew, James. And AO. No, we will not talk about it. You're actually celebrating that title win. You're a good guy, but Jesus Christ. Fix up. Anyway, moving on. He is a douchebag, so we are moving on. And we're moving on to sadly, Robert, they will be. And I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate it. Because I've never missed an episode of TNA and I've watched it since day one. That company saved my fandom of pro wrestling at one point in time, put it that way. We had violence up next. Stretcher match. AEW's first ever stretcher match in company history. Baldy versus Skin Fade. The one and only versus Dem Boys. Kung Pao Kung Fu in all his chicken flavor conversation. I'm going to reply to you in the best way I can without giving you the right answer. If you're a fan of TNA, you'll know why. Yep. Shine that dome. Gotta say, Ricochet is definitely more suited to AEW. Honestly, Billy, I agree. I was very unsure about how he was going to be months ago. And you can remember those shows. I was very critical about Ricochet. I didn't think he was going to do anything remotely of interest. But he's actually tried to give himself something to do, which I have to praise. He's made me a believer out of him again. It took me a long time. Because there's a long time when I really stopped caring about Ricochet. I really did. But he's made me want to care. He's made me want to invest in him. At the end of the day, that's what I want to see. Like, this is why I can't knock someone like Jacob Fatu in WWE, for example. Like, he makes you want to feel interesting. Exactly, James. That's how it should be. Someone understands my pain. Maria, spot on. This was a fun match. It was brutal. It was violent. It was good pacing. It was a mixture of in the ring, out the ring. It was a test of metal. Or, as some people call it, a test of bottle, test of guts. Because when you think about it, when it comes to gimmick matches that are more violent and extreme, the level of experience is in Mark Briscoe's favour compared to Ricochet. He's been in matches like this before. He's been in matches like that before, but he's never been anything like this. He does very well. And all in all, this match, if it hadn't been for 2 matches on the card, maybe 3, this generally could have been match of the night. That's how good I actually think it was. You got both men trying to work each other. The control from Ricochet in the smartest way. Ricochet using the scissors actually comes into effect really well here. I think Mark Briscoe understands the level of the match itself, and he understands the caliber of opponent in Ricochet. So I like the fact that he kept channeling the Cactus Jack in the match as well, which I thought was very special. Ricochet with the running shooting star press from the ring apron onto the stretcher, and he misses, is a good spot. This was fun. This was a smart way to do it, and I did like the way it works. Oh yeah, 100%. I think that's a good way to consider it, Zodiac. And he is consistently good as well. Is somebody going to tell him, or do I have to step in? Because one bottle of Pepsi Max isn't enough. The top spots in this match were great. Yes, they were. One spot in particular that I thought was excellent last night. The one particular spot that I really did like last night from these two. What's up, Matthew? How are you? One of the spots I really liked was the second cactus elbow. I just thought that was very well done. I think this was a very good way to do it. I was very surprised though by the. Yeah, you finally made it in. You've not missed much, by the way. So I'll tell you that for starters. You haven't missed much. We're only on the stretcher match. I thought I was very surprised. So I was watching Double or Nothing last night. I was watching Matthew's stream. 6 hours 40 minutes that man went last night. Incredible, and deserves the credit for the effort he put into his stream last night. Well done. I was like, when I was looking through this match, I was very like bizarre by the fact that they put the spray bottle for Ricochet. Now, before people say you're not going to find that sort of stuff under the ring, are you? But yeah, you are, because they have to clean the mats for blood. That's your cleaning equipment for the mats, etc. So I actually thought that was very clever, and it's a good way to keep winding up Ricochet about being bald. I obviously there's nothing wrong with being bald, but I like how that is tying into it. It's a good way to mock him, belittle him, and it's crafty. Is it possible for Tony Khan to buy the TNA video library? He did manage to get the Ring of Honor library. Sadly not, because WWE own it. You did well. Don't worry, I wasn't going to ask you on after that. I think it wouldn't be fair. But yeah, TNA's library actually got bought several years ago. I'm pretty sure WWE actually owns it, because they got it when it came up as a conversation when AJ Styles was signed by WWE in 2016. Now, I'm hoping it's not the case and it was just a flooded rumor, but in fact TNA still own the library. But there were heavy conversations in 2016. Oh, I did not miss that. We did not miss that. We covered that. It's right here. That man is a fucking imbecile. So thanks for bringing it to the attention, of course. I thought it was really stupid. I don't know why you would make such a comment. And I like the fact that people are saying to me, why am I getting so offended? Like, well, here's the funny thing, right? And before anyone says you're not being consistent, um, I love Kenny Omega, but I never once said I like Kenny Omega as TNA World Champion, as it was called then, Impact World Champion. And if anyone dares to go and try and find where I've said I've liked it, you will never find that because I've never said it. I've actually said a partnership does not mean changing title hands. A partnership for me is you have matches together, you continue to improve the performance, but that doesn't mean you make them champion. EC3 should be the next WWE Universal Champion, definitely more talent than Cena. Oh, massively. Massively. If it wasn't for, funnily enough, Jon Moxley, he would have succeeded on the WWE roster because he got buried by him and Nia Jax. That was actually quite sad but funny. Although, to be fair, I'm pretty sure Alexa Bliss was close to saying that she'll show her ass. I think that's what she was going to say. That was to Finn Balor. Up next is an absolute shithouse match. It's not really blasphemy, Darius. I just stand by it. I don't agree with it. I like Kenny as the belt collector. I just didn't like him being TNA World Champion. It didn't resonate with me. And I don't agree with an NXT talent being the world champion of another promotion when it's meant to be a development brand. I don't agree with it. The matches were good though. I would have preferred them just being matches. I didn't like that it was for the title. I've never liked it, and I'll never change my mind on that. It actually annoys me. No, it won't be. It won't be. Just stop. Yeah, they should. I'm glad they got the belt of Hendry as well because Hendry's injured, but it should have went to Kazarian or Mustafa Ali to then get to Santana. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but why wouldn't Kenny be a good TNA World Champion, any kind of World Champion? What? It's not like that at all. What I'm saying is, if Kenny's going to be the TNA World Champion, for example, in 2021, if Kenny's going to be World Champion in TNA in 2021, then Kenny should have been a TNA talent. I don't like that it's another company's talent taking the belt and then not even dropping it to the talent, but instead it's going in full circle. I loved the matches, but I didn't like the outcome, and I'll stand by it. Like I'll never change my mind. Kenny Omega's world champion was brilliant. I just don't like seeing it like that. I've never done. I've never have. The only time I actually agreed with it, Christian Cage went back to TNA. He was an AEW talent at the time, but he went back to TNA to fulfill Kenny Omega's obligations, and then he came back to AEW. So he actually split for a while as well, which was really good. I'm glad he got that title, and he deserved to be TNA champion. Kazarian is absolutely overdue. But initially, when Christian Cage won the TNA World title, he was an AEW talent. There's some things that I just can't stand for. And the funny thing as well is the TNA president last night, you got shown on Battleground, mate, you got made to look like a mug. I hope you enjoy going and getting lubed up the ass by Shawn Michaels and his bitch boy. Yeah, I want Mustafa Ali to be world champion. I'm just saying. Yeah, well, he never actually held the TNA world title. He was only NWA champion. He was supposed to win the TNA world title, but they never put the belt on him. Because obviously you bring in the best wrestler in the world, and obviously he's automatically going to be your best, your champion. So, but Kazarian should have. If Kazarian was going to win the title, he should have done it with his title shot. They wasted it. He would have been a good transition as well, but yeah, shit happens, eh? I hate the fact that Santana's going to win it and it's not going to feel much. Why should I? Why should I give it a chance? Here's what people need to realize. I'm a professional wrestling fan. I love TNA. I was in the TNA forums in 2010 when WWE fans were actively giving shit to TNA, wishing the death of the company. Why would I want to give that a chance? People loved when Taz went back to ECW to win the world title from Mike Awesome, and then he went and lost to Triple H. Neither of them were ECW talents. Oh, wait. There you go. There's another one. They don't need mainstream exposure. Trick Williams doesn't bring exposure. And that's not what TNA should be about. TNA already have been doing well without it. And the views are evident on their YouTube channel. The volume of numbers they get is their own hard work. Everyone's going to say, oh, it's now down to WWE, when it's not. But now they've basically ruined things. I showed my cousin a clip of Laredo Kid doing a destroyer on Trey Miguel, and he said, man, still got faith in Impact. I've been loyal since 2011. Damn right, brother. I'm struggling with it. I honestly, the minute I seen the result, I didn't watch Battleground, but I saw how the match ended, but it genuinely pissed me off. Well, I don't know, if they're calling the NXT title a world title, then technically he's won too, but fuck knows. But in terms of a legitimate world title, yeah. Funny enough, he won in front of Booker T, who had 3 title shots, and he lost all 3. Yeah, Joe Hendry's going to WWE after his surgery. He's got like 4 or 5 months of his contract left, then he's away to WWE, but his injury's going to take him out for several months. So that's it. Like, people refuse to acknowledge Impact's existence, but as soon as the new paint job came about, everyone jizzed themselves. I've always been a TNA fan, even during the rough shit eras of Bischoff and Pukester. The horrible shit with Dixie Carter as an on-screen heel. Bully Ray is a horrible world champion. Billy Corgan just didn't make any sense. Going through the limited crowd size, I've seen it all with TNA. The highs, the lows. Battleground was the lowest of the low. I know it did, but still. No one. Honestly, Maria, no one. Here's the funny thing. See, when this whole partnership started, I was like, you know what? Let's have some fun matches. I've never really watched Fraxium. Then I got to see Fraxium versus the Rascals. I got to see Fraxium versus the Hardys. Fun matches. I got to see Wesley back in a TNA ring in a 6-man tag. That was fun. I get to see the women link up really well. That's fun. Obafemi, even though I don't like Moose, Obafemi versus Moose is two big powerhouses. You know what? That's fun. That's okay. But I don't want to see them holding their titles. Because that's not what a partnership's about. That's not what a partnership is. Like, let me give you a brilliant example. Let me give you a brilliant example. There's only one time where I've said someone else holding another world title actually helped. And that was Kurt Angle. Now, I'm not defending it because it's Kurt Angle. I'm saying that made sense because it was the only option. It was the only option that was going to be allowed. But in terms of examples, picture this. It's 1998. A good year. It's 1998. Goldberg is the WCW World Champion. He jumps over to Raw for one night and he beats Stone Cold for the WWE title. And then, just for saying sake, you've got Badass Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg. They jump over to WCW and they beat Hall and Nash or Sting and the Giant for the WCW Tag Team titles. Or Ken Shamrock is Intercontinental Champion. He jumps over to Nitro and he beats DDP for the US title. It is the Medusa effect. Spot on. You can have good partnerships with your partners without having to go, let's put the belts on these guys. Here's a funny thing. I didn't agree with Moxley beating Naito for the IWGP World title. I liked the title match, but I didn't like the outcome. And I didn't like the fact that he had an immediate title match with Powerhouse Hobbs. I didn't like that either. Because even though it's perceived as fun, that's not what a partnership's about. I was there for Hogan, Eric Bischoff, Billy Corgan, the DCC with James Storm and Eddie Kingston. Yep, I took a break. The Pop and Destination America because I didn't have cable. Those were bad days. Yes, you can. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I've not once said that you shouldn't. But here's the funny thing. If you can say the same thing for Mercedes, I want you to say the same for Austin Aries. I'll wait. Because they're all wrong. Hey, Fletch. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only reason this one works The only reason this one works is because of what happened. Oh yeah, Fletch, you're gonna really wind up Catherine. Like, this one actually made sense, and I've got an argument for it. Kurt Angle winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship in 2007 is the only time where I've actually agreed with another talent winning another promotion. We're just doing a little debate, Fletch, before we go back to reviewing something. We're going back to the tag team titles in a minute, because that's where we're on, the tag team title match. But this actually made sense for me in 2007. It still makes sense to this day. And if you know why, I don't need to explain it. If you want me to explain it, I'll explain it. Because I'm happy to explain the reason for this one, why this one makes sense. It's not going to be a Texas death match. It's just going to be a bog standard wrestling match. It's probably going to go about 20 minutes. You can have shenanigans without a death match, so I don't think I actually think if you do this, it ruins the first one. They shouldn't have multiple death matches. Oh yeah, someone's going to cost them the match, Fletch. But it won't be like that, though. If anyone wants me to explain why this one makes sense, I'll explain it. Jesus, Catherine. You gotta let it go. You must let it go. He did. And I never agreed with that either. Which is also another example of something I didn't say. It's an example that I mentioned that I disagreed with as well. Because it made little to no sense when they had talents there. Lance Archer has entered the chat. Alright, I'll quickly explain why this made sense. There you go. Yes, that's correct. Brock Lesnar refused to drop it as well. But Inoki was already head of New Japan. It was New Japan's title. It's the same promotion. But yes, he unified it with Nakamura. He had 4 title defenses. But that's because New Japan didn't know who was going to have the belt. So they had Angle defend it against talent until they went, you know what, let's have Nakamura do it. But yeah, Brock refused to lose it to anybody in Japan. He's like, no, I'll drop it, but I'll drop it to Kurt Angle. Don't worry about that. That's not a bad thing, by the way. Because remember, Tanahashi's still going to get the big match at Forbidden Door. Oh, there's actually a highlights video of this match right here. I haven't watched it in years. Oh, she really hates him, yeah. It's nothing better than watching Brock Lesnar tap out to Kurt Angle in seconds. Omega versus Okada, I think is still gonna. I think Omega and Okada are still the match together. Ospreay, I don't know. He might be involved with the Death Riders somehow, like for Team AEW, but I'm not sure. We are going to be coming to that in a moment. The way I feel about Zelina, LA Knight, and Joe Hendricks, how Kat feels about Hangman, especially about what Zelina did to Chelsea. In a way, yeah. I don't think so. Yes, she has. Breaking Chelsea Green's nose is disgusting. Don't worry, we're going to come to that as well, Fletch. Don't worry. Because we've got some interesting takes on that. Moving on, we're on the next match here. So, the tag team title match, long story short, this was 12 minutes of pish. This match was simply horrible. And I'm going to say this now, they're in trouble because this is going to turn MJF a babyface. So here's an idea. Get Hammerstone with MJF quickly so he stays a heel. Because Hammerstone was at Double or Nothing last night. Oh, she really... I love Chelsea Green, man. Zelina used to be so good in TNA years ago. She was never this dangerous, but fuck me, she was bad. There's been a death in Liverpool, apparently. I don't know the full extent of what's going on. I just know apparently there's been a death. It's going crazy. Up next for me, finally, I can say this with great wording. Last night, my dude, my boss man, Kazuchika Okada showed up. Speedball Mike Bailey, I've always been a big fan of his. Last night, he locked in with Okada. And this match was genuinely fantastic. I said this was going to go close to the time limit draw. The time limit expiry. It went 16 and a half minutes. This match was fundamentally incredible. That's why he should put Billy Gunn in charge of his tag teams as an agent. I think Billy Gunn could step away from Andy Bowens and start being the agent for tag teams. They do need more tag teams, I agree. Grizzled Young Veterans are right there. That's why I'm saying I would do a fatal four-way at All In. Grizzled Young Veterans, Gates of Agony, and the Guns versus Hurt Syndicate for the World Tag Team titles. That's what I would do. But this match here, I'll tell you why this match was excellent last night. I'll tell you why this match was excellent. This match was excellent because Okada, for the first time in... let me check. Buddy Matthews, Brody King, the Continental Classic, the All-In Gauntlet match, the match versus Bryan Danielson, title versus title. Yeah, and none of those matches did one thing not happen. In all of those matches, Kazuchika Okada was not on the defensive. When are you reviewing Under Siege? Probably tomorrow. That could have been a whole lot better. Oh, Darius, if you get the chance, man, you're going to absolutely love it. Those matches were really good. Now, in terms of the enjoyment of this match, I will be back in tomorrow, Guy, and you'll see what kind of TNA mood I'm going to be in. But in this match, Okada is fully on the defensive, and that's what makes this match perfect. Speedball Mike Bailey is obviously in the challenger role. He's got to win. Well, he's got to obviously win to take the title from the champion. He's the aggressor. He takes the match to Okada. Okada struggles with the mixed offense. I thought it was genuinely incredible. Especially from Speedball. Now, Speedball does make one big mistake in this match. And obviously it is right at the very end, but it costs him the match. When he goes for the Ultima knee strike. He goes for the Ultima knee strike, and as he's coming up for the impact, Okada plants him with a drop kick. At this point, Speedball Mike Bailey is going to rest in cash. Because at this point, it was game over, money was on the floor, Okada is still the Continental Champion. This match was my favourite match of the night, to be honest. I considering what was there, I loved the main event, I loved Anarchy in the arena, but from a different reason, this was my favourite match of the night, and it's because Okada got to lock in. Now we've seen him lock in. Now it's got to be on a regular basis. Now he's got to keep delivering before he drops this belt. This was fundamentally excellent. And I can't say anything else. Speedball is a combination of Ricky Steamboat and RVD. That's a good way to put it. Hello, Abu. How are you? Okada versus Bailey match of the night. Honestly, my friend, that's a good way. That's honestly, it'd be tough to disagree. As an overall wrestling match, I think it is. But from a story aspect, Hangman versus Ospreay is better. I actually have, from the AEW's page, the dropkick counter, which is absolutely brilliant. The Ultima knee strike. And Aubrey Edwards, you can't do nothing to me on this. I use this so I can keep on track on the... So I can keep track of the flow. I've went off it. Damn it. Here you go. This right here is incredible. Oh, fuck off. See, when people try to tell me Okada's not the best in the world anymore, I'm like, well, yeah, watch this match and then try and tell me he's not. For me, he still is. Oh, definitely Johnny. I'd drop kick him into an ocean. Legendary comic book writer Peter David dies after a series of health issues. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Right up there with AJ Styles, Matt. 100% right up there with AJ Styles. For me, they're the best two drop kicks in the business. That's because I just don't like Aubrey Edwards. I think she's an absolute moron. She's just hired to bore people to death and smash copyrights in the worst way. She's a melon fucker. And just like that, sold to the Rainmaker with the one-word catchphrase that got my attention. See, man knows it. I'm surprised that she hasn't been invited to audition for like a bootleg version of the Addams Family, because she tries to look like Wednesday, but she doesn't have the appeal or the coolness of the character. But she clearly tries to be an adult Wednesday Addams. Like I could see her in that role, like a caged Wednesday Addams, or actually I don't know who else you can compare her to, but she really is horrible. She's definitely a Monday. Yeah. I think it's between him and AJ Styles personally. Like they both hit such precise, carefully planted drop kicks right in the chin. Yeah. 100%. That was the best title match on the show. Considering there was 3 title matches, the Continental Classic for me was the best on the show. The tag team titles was obviously third, so I'm sorry, Toni Storm, big fans, but her match was below Okada versus Speedball for me, but not by much. Oh wow, I got a wee clip here. Oh, that's just the figure 4 counter. That was weird, that figure 4 counter. I'll say Randy, AJ, Okada in that order. Maven is an honorable mention. Okay. I mean, it's a fair point. Randy Orton does actually have a decent drop kick. I will give him that. To be fair, Randy Orton does have a good drop kick. Sabu had a decent drop kick. Not that many people mention it. Jushin Thunder Liger's drop kick was fun, because he came at you like facing forward. So does Chris Jericho. Better than a Tuesday. Coco Beware. Mr. Perfect definitely had an awesome drop kick. Bret Hart's drop kick was sweet. I think if I had to pick a top 5 drop kicks, no particular order, just my top 5. Bret Hart, Perfect, AJ, Okada, Orton. Catherine, not really my thing, but I think Mina Shirakawa is, but that's different, of course. Although Deonna Purrazzo is still number 1. Let's go through it. This match was quite simple. This was a Toni Storm sell job. Oh yeah, have you never seen Bret Hart do a dropkick? Hold on. Oh yeah, she is. Hold on. I say Bret Hart dropkick and it comes up with Goldberg's super kick. That is insulting. Hey, Bret Hart did a drop kick against Roddy Piper and he got him right in the chin. Where is it? There is. He's definitely done a drop kick before because it's not as. Owen Hart's drop kick was good as well. That's because they want to make sure they can maintain control. I told you, Mariah. I told you on the previous show, Mariah May will never be back on AEW television again. It will never happen. It's over. Worst drop kicks ever. Yeah, Mariah May's gone. It's over. Stephanie Vaquer, Deonna Purrazzo, Julia. There's your cha-ching. Mina as well. There you go. Not going too far. Don't take the rumors with a pinch of salt, mate. Honestly, the minute Mariah May told Tony Khan that she was not going to see, she was going to leave for WWE at the end of her contract, she then had her match with. That's when she had the match with Toni Storm and lost. They were going to do another match, and he went, "Nah, that's it." To try and stay in the good books. She's gone though. She's going to WWE. It's over. It's definitely over for her. Oh yeah, she is. Because now Roxanne Perez is on Raw and Julia's on SmackDown. And Stephanie Vaquer is going to go to SmackDown. I like this match even though I consider it too short. But again, it's short for a reason. Toni Storm, the leg, like the figure four round the post injury, she's selling it very well. Quite a lot of back and forth small package counters, but again, it's more strength on the champion to try and force herself up and back and forward. Not a bad contest. I'm eager to see where Mina Shirakawa goes after this match because she had a very good showing for the World Championship. I'm eager to see what happens. I think she's going to have a big match at All In. I'm just not sure the extent. But I obviously will be paying very close attention. As for... No worries, Fletch. As for Toni Storm being victorious in her title defense, she will now go on to face Mercedes Moné at All In. Big money match. Pardon the pun. There's a lot from them to go with. I'm really liking it. I like how Luther is portrayed as well. Like, he seems to be everywhere Mina Shirakawa is. She just loves to get a grip of him. It's just really funny. And I like the way that she kept exploiting the leg in the injury. I think you're going to see, similar to Jamie Hayter, except not a full-on injury, but I think you're going to see potentially an angle where Toni Storm does get injured by Mercedes and it writes off Toni Storm for a little while so she can just take some deserved time off. But in the meantime, Toni Storm will obviously be ridiculed by Mercedes for the fact that she took her out. I think we might get that, and I think that would be a very good story. It's a good story angle. Obviously, Jamie Hayter was legitimately injured, but I would like for them to go back to it in some way. Especially if you're selling a leg injury from a figure 4 leg lock round the ring post. Use that to your advantage. Make it count. And let Toni Storm have a break. She needs it after All In. Because she's been carrying. She did, but she is going to need a little bit more. She is going to need a little bit more, especially for what's to come. We have 3 matches left. Significantly, we have 3 matches left. Now, if I just do one thing for 1 second. Little bit of a spoiler for everybody. You know what we're doing now. Nah, I got too angry. I actually did enjoy Under Siege, but I'm going to do Under Siege tomorrow as a separate show, and then I'm going to tie into the Battleground reaction as well. So I'm going to do it tomorrow in separate ways. Because I'm going to do that plus Raw. Pearl Jam or Smashing Pumpkins? Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam. If you don't stop. Okay. We spoke earlier on about violence. Unmitigated violence between Mark Briscoe and I know. Oh, it was. Don't worry, I'm not going to watch Battleground. I'm just going to react to the horseshit main event. So I'm going to include that as part of the review altogether. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it at the very end of this, actually. Never mind. I'll do both, actually. So, it was his best mic work in a long time. A long fucking time. Last night we got Anarchy in the Arena done properly for the first time since the first one. Border Brawl I actually haven't watched. I haven't watched it. Anarchy in the Arena hasn't been done right in a long time, and I stand by it. They got that done correctly. The violence was not tame this time. It felt like there was more to it. It felt like there was more really trying to go as far as you can to break someone, and it was smart by how they value the talent, considering who was involved. Kenny as Captain America was very cool. That was basically it, Darius. Speaking of Kenny Omega as Captain America. This as well, from earlier. Very late night for me, as you can see. This right here was incredible. That man has no shame. None. Swerve really cemented himself last night in a different way, which I really was impressed with. From some of the highlights I've seen, I did enjoy the match, which I wasn't so sure about in the first place. Yeah. That V-Trigger was quality. Yeah, I loved it, man. I loved it. Kenny Omega's promo, I mean, I may as well get the full promo, shouldn't I? Because it was actually really damn good. Where is it? Let me see if I can get the word for word. Can I get Kenny Omega's promo word for word? Because everything he said was excellent. Oh, right, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, just an update. Liv Morgan has been written into tonight's Raw. So, oh dear. Lol. Okay, that's actually very funny. Anyway, what am I looking for? Yes. It is bad news. Mm-hmm. Ain't that the truth, Darius? Right, can we find where is his exact promo? I'm definitely going to use that GIF very, very soon. I need the exact words. Ah, never mind. Either way, his promo was brilliant. Yeah. A pleb on a pole match. Or chicken nuggets on a pole match. Oh, sorry, that's banned. I can't do that. I'm going to take shots at them as much as I can now. Live is something that you don't want to be with in general. Anyway, this right here had everything. Exploding tables, the ambulance, the most over-the-top entrance. Oh, of course I will. The most over-the-top entrance. Now, if you distinctly remember, Kenny Omega has incredible intros by Justin Roberts. Like, just going back to the one when he returned after being out for over 200 plus days and he came back. And Justin Roberts basically done like an absolute wankfest intro. And it's a good thing. And then the Bucks. Now, the Bucks don't get a lot of praise on this channel. They don't get a lot of praise. But for the over the top entrance that they did last night, I was pissing myself. It was absolutely funny. The fact that they had old fashioned scrolls. They came out like Independence Day Americans, like when they founded America. It was fucking funny. I honestly, that's a good way to put it. I genuinely couldn't stop laughing. I honestly was like, there's no way they're gonna do this. Surely not. And then I saw the entrance video and I was like, oh god, they've actually. Oh, it was so damn funny, and I could not stop laughing. I wonder if I can find. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like I knew that. I know my American history, even though it's not a good thing. Right. That is the best reaction of them all. Swerve Strickland literally just goes, I want to kill these cunts. And his eyes are giving me, I'm going to murder them. Like I'm not playing the full thing because Aubrey Edwards will just get herself in a knot. But I'm just gonna get instead of playing, I just want to get to this bit. But Kenny as well, his reaction was priceless. It's just this bit I want to show. That is absolutely hilarious. That's this is what people need to realize, right? When people say, "Oh, I don't like comedy, I don't like a little bit of a joke." No, I like this. Like this is like this right here is the equivalent of JBL trying to get the Undertaker to break because of the bus trip. Sorry, the motorbike. Sorry, this is that for me, right? This is trying to make the top talent break. This was an unserious, serious entrance. It's priceless, and I can't fault it at all. I physically cannot critique this in any shape or form. This is brilliant, and I'll say this nicely. If WWE did something like this, I would praise it to shit as well because I like this sort of trolling. Like, this is my kind of trolling. It's why I liked when, because obviously I said I was at All In Wembley 1 and 2. I loved when MJF came out in that British entrance. Sorry, the All American entrance to the British people. Fuck the word Britain. I thought this was priceless. Like I was pissing myself. I could not stop laughing. For the first time in ages, that entrance made me speechless. Yeah, I've not been speechless on an entrance in AEW since like where I physically couldn't say anything. It was probably Okada at All In because I was begging for Okada to appear, and then he did. But then obviously Nige was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna raise you." And then obviously Zack Sabre Jr., Ricochet came out. Christian Cage with his steel entrance was just it's just funny. But look at that Mount Rushmore. Like just look at the look at the Mount Rushmore in this video. In fact, if I can get the snipping tool. Because the snipping tool actually makes the match. Like I'm saying, like this is the stuff that actually deserves to be praised, but it doesn't. And it's because of who people like. Edge at WrestleMania 39 was wild. There's been a lot of entrances that had me speechless, like Sting's entrance at All In 2023 had me speechless. Like this Mount Rushmore is this is just too funny. That is just simply iconic. I'm gonna leave that up on screen for the rest of the stream. I actually wonder what his entrance is going to be like at Forbidden Door this year versus Tanahashi. Ooh, gave that away. Undertaker entrance for me. That is a speechless one. It hasn't been in quite some time. But from an active wrestler, there's not very many. The Bucks said fuck Cody and Kenny. Yeah, they did. They basically said like fuck you. And you know what? Good for them. Because end of the day, that's what heels are meant to do. If they didn't do that, then what's the point? So I like that they've gone full shithouse mode with this. We've got obviously I bring this up from earlier on because this is a very important moment in the match. Pinfall cover from Swerve at the very end. Top tier. Obviously he's wearing his Thumbtacks Air Max shoes. He hits Matt Jackson, I believe. No, Matt Jackson's the one that went through the exploding table. It was Nicholas Jackson that ate the thumbtack thumbtack trainers. But it's that aftershock with the staple in his mouth. I've always been iffy about staple guns. Swerve, he's got the Bucks at All In. He's going to have a match with the Bucks at All In, I think, to try and put an end to them once and for all, like their tyranny. I can see it being a battle for the control of AEW. I'm not talking about the Mount Rushmore. I'm talking about in the match, like who actually takes the pin. We know it's Matt Jackson that doesn't. He gets the exploding one-winged angel. But Nicholas Jackson obviously takes the thumbtacks to the face. I was thinking it was going to be Hangman until he won, but I still think they're going to build up to Omega versus Okada All In. Swerve could end up in a match with Ospreay as well. Um, I don't know where he goes from here. I mean, I'm intrigued to see it. It could end up being Swerve and Samoa Joe. All right, Stampede. Like this was a very. I don't often like Anarchy in the arena matches. I've said it for a long time. I've always found them to be just tedious and over the top, but I did like last night. I think last night actually got it right, and I liked the commitment from each talent involved. I thought the women stood out excellently. Seth's entrance at WrestleMania 41 with the black and white lighting. No, that was actually well done, to be fair. The only good thing about the entire match was his entrance. We got SummerSlam 2001 on a pay-per-view. That's what we got for this. That throwback to one of the better SummerSlams. But it was just manic, and I think the women deserve a lot of praise for what they did in the match as well. Let's not just forget Marina Shafir. Marina Shafir and Willow Nightingale showed up massively. I would like it to be Swerve and Ospreay because I want Darby to appear at the very end of the main event world title shot. Yeah, the 4 square screens was very effective. If they didn't do that, then this match would have faded away. Since your number 8 match of the year, fair enough. Again, I'm not ranking matches yet. For me, I stand by it's too early. Never goes well to rank early. But I liked what I saw. This thing was. There's one thing that AEW does wrong, but they didn't last night. AEW, when they go overproduced, they get it wrong. Again, because it's overproduced in extreme level matches, it's hard to rein it in. Last night they got it right. And I mean, they fully got it right. We were treated to a good wrestling match that was gimmick formed, and it was all in all, it was just to the letter. Nobody failed to deliver. Gabe Kidd, his timing was fundamentally fantastic. I think Mark Briscoe, his inclusion was spot on with the ambulance situation. Like it was good that they brought that back in. I only have one negative on this match, and I've always said I don't like it. It's just because it's always gave me the weird ick. I did not like thumbtacks in the mouth. I've never been a fan of thumbtacks in the mouth. I'm not going to start being a hypocrite now and saying I thought all of it was incredible, right? I can't do that. But aside from that, every other spot was incredible, and I love that they kept continuing with Drown and Pull in the background. They could have went to any other song. They didn't. I like that they stuck with Bodies. I like the fact that Kenny Omega impromptu just went, no, we're turning this shit off. We're putting on some real music, and he had the fans singing as well. Funny, eh? You should always include your fans. Notice how the fans here weren't touching the talent either. They were just singing along and having fun in the right way without touching them at ringside. You know, like proper control. Like these fans were actually mature. Exactly. Play that shit. After Hangman takes the challenge of Moxley and he has a good run with the title, it should be Swerve who beats him for the title. I disagree. I disagree, my friend. It's a very good idea though, but I disagree. Willow getting chained in the ring post with a lock through her ear was great. Yep, shades of that reminded me of what happened to Jeff Hardy in the IC title match against AJ Styles and Sami Zayn, lock them in. So good. Use the piercings together, use the ears, it's so clever. Even chains, use the surrounding environment to perfection. It's incredible. Marina Shafir, she sounded out that Snapdragon suplex to perfection. I thought the Meltzer driver on Matt Jackson was incredible. The trust they have in Willow Nightingale to do that was fun. Kamatani versus Nakano was great. It's a shame as well, and I'm going to say this. This is a shame for Swerve, but I'm going to stand by it. The Meltzer driver should have been the move that ended the match, because that's your immediate shock. I showed my friend the Willow spot. He said, "Yeah, that's too over the top, outrageous for me." Fair enough. I just thought it was very well done. It shows us the trust they have in her as well. Like, especially to allow a woman to get you in a tombstone pile driver like that and allow her to drill you. It was very well done. Up next, simply put, oh, Catherine, calm down. Simply put, up next, the ace of the Don Callis family, Josh Alexander, teaming up with the mid card heir in Kyle Fletcher, and then the ace himself, Konosuke Takeshita, or the Alpha, if you want to call him that specifically, in an excellent 6-man tag versus Paragon. This was brilliant. I told you Adam Cole was not going to take the fall. I know a lot of people said he was going to. I said it wasn't going to happen. Well, hello, you evil little bitch. This was excellent. It's because she just single handedly hates the man for no idea why. She just hates him, even though he's the true AEW original. Swerve with Hangman is going to happen. I thought it was going to be All In. I had it for All In, to be honest, but if it's after that, I'm not too fussed. It's still going to be good. They'll link him well. Could be All Out. At least they've got time now between All In and All Out. That's something I hate. Like, it's always like 2 weeks apart. At least now it's 2 months apart. Well, he's technically correct, Catherine. I saw one review channel that said the DC match was among one of the best buffers. It was actually. No idea, but if that's the reason, that's just cruel. That match was excellent, and it was one of AEW's best stories. In fact, it is still AEW's best story. Adam Cole needs to find his feet in, though. He hasn't done anything remote recently. So his feud with Kyle Fletcher has to be an impact on him. Otherwise, what's the point? Could this match have been necessary to have on? Maybe not. Did we need it? Not really. We could have just went straight to the main event following Anarchy in the arena, but it's okay that we didn't. But no, you don't pin the champion in this match. No, the champion doesn't get pinned in this one. It's right to have his team get pinned because then it'll freak him out. This is a collision match, I agree, as was the World Tag Team title match, as was FT finished, and versus McGuinness and Bumboy. It's a fun match, but it's not really a match we need on the event. You can set up Adam versus Fletcher without Adam Cole getting pinned. To see the Prez, of course, the one true Prez. At the event is good to see. Obviously, Tanahashi's getting ready for Forbidden Door, which is going to be absolute cooking. We did get one big announcement as well before we come to the main event. Oh yeah, that already got announced. Like that got announced last week. Alexander is most likely going to go after the international title, but Takeshita's going to be out of the family soon. I think you're going to see him go solo soon. He's excellent though. Either way, both of them are brilliant. We got an announcement obviously before the main event. You guys can have your booking wherever you want. I've got my own, my preference. Well, yeah, he is the face of New Japan, greatest babyface in the company's history. Fighter Fest, 4-hour TV special. We have a fatal 4-way international title match. Long story short, for the brackets, my three, I want to get to the match itself. I want Castagnoli, I want Hechicero, and I want Josh Alexander in the fatal 4-way. For me, that's the best fatal 4-way by far. Oh yeah, absolutely. That won't stop them though. Those two are machines. You've got one of the best physical wrestlers, and you've got one of the best technical wrestlers in the world, like side by side. Either way, it's still phenomenal. But for me, that fatal 4-way, I want it to be Hechicero, Josh Alexander, and Claudio Castagnoli, because for me, that's the best match all round. If it's not that, I'm not going to get upset about it, but that's the fatal 4-way I think is best. Main event time, and then I'll do a review of Under Siege as well. We'll do an Under Siege moment. I'll do a actually whilst I'm doing that. Hold on. I suppose I can do it in the same the same stream. I'm gonna have to do something quick then. It's probably the best I'm gonna get. I think it's the best group in Stampede. I think overall, I don't think anyone else realistically matches, and it'll be good to see how they fare it as well. I think there's just strength to strength. That one. It means you're a brilliant singles wrestler. Hold on 2 seconds. I won't need to review them that long. Under Siege, but I'll add Under Siege to this show as well. We'll do it at the very end. I missed it last night. Was celebrating a freeway birthday with my friends. It's all right, Smooth. You're here at least for the fun. Lol. Damn, Stampede. Damn. Catherine comes after you now. I can't defend you now, brother. The main event, Speedball versus Okada. Anarchy in the arena, the stretcher match, and Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Moné. And now I'm going to put that one here. Oh, to be fair, I've had horrible takes. Everyone has horrible takes, to be fair. Men, women, robots, AI, pilgrims. Catherine, don't go anywhere. Don't start. Don't go anywhere. I don't. Stick around. Don't do that. Don't leave. I don't need that, and I don't need. Where is it? Shit. Yeah, Catherine, didn't leave. Stick around if you're still here. Come on, phone, hurry up. There we go. Right, I'll quickly jump the phone back into the StreamYard. So I can add this. And then I'll do it at the very end, which means I'll need to edit the stream at the very end. Lovely. Two of me. I should have it now. Yep, there we go. Okay. That went off so bad. We went from fun to I don't know what the fuck we went to there. Okay, right. Main event of this event. So 36 minutes. Interesting is one way to put it. Over 36 minutes this match went. Very very good one to be fair. There was a lot of well, still obviously we call on the mannerisms. There was still a lot of induced finishers on this one. Let's get back on screen. I never approved you to disappear because I thought that was funny. This match went from an incredible amount of wrestling to a lot of attempts on finishers. We got a lot of them. We got successful finishers. We got lots of kickouts. It was both men taking each other to the limit, and the limit was exhausting each other. you can see throughout Will Ospreay as well, his demeanor changes. He goes from working babyface, he works heel, he's getting booed by the crowd. I like that there was a change. We got to see him act a little bit differently, which is important in a match. Yeah, it was really, really well done. I liked how they approached the match with each other. I did think it was clever. Again, like I said at the start of the show, if you're appearing dressed in Owen Hart's pink and black, you're not losing. We had one awkward spot. The SummerSlam 2000 vibe spot. That was a botch. Like, the table spot was a botch. Eventually, they just recovered and just went, you know what, we'll just do a dead eye anyway. Which was a good recovery. It was a good recovery, but it was still a botch. So we have to knock it down a little bit. But both men chose to bring their best. Because again, if you don't bring your best for this, then how are you going to bring your best for the world title match? Yeah, that was literally it. Like, Mercedes Moné is the same. She wore a pink and black attire as well, and that was it. You wear the colours, you've won. It was extremely well done. I loved this match. I thought this match was second to none. I thought that the buckshot lariat versus hidden blade shootout moment is the spot of the match for me. I thought that was genuinely the best moment of the match itself. Was two of them staring each other down. I thought the V trigger into a counter, which Swerve then Swerve's big pressures used. I did like that. Yeah, they will need to Darius. They do blend North American and Japan styles really well. Of course, I'm not going anywhere. Not yet. I've still got one more thing to do after this. I like the fact that we got Kenny Omega's V trigger and we got Swerve's big pressure in back-to-back sequences. Yeah, I've saw it. I did like it. I thought it was very well done. I liked the homage to Christopher Daniels with the Angels wings. We got the Stormbreaker. We didn't get the Tiger Drivers, what I was expecting. But this was physical. He needs to go. What's up, Lark Bark? How are you? Modern wrestlers and game developers need to stand on their own two legs. Too much jacking from the past general. Yeah, that was hilarious. Match of the night. I mean, it's certainly up there. I still have like one in particular I stand by on a different way, but I thought this match was simply incredible. We got a show that matters most, and I think the obvious question now is to ask, and this is not a disrespect to your favorite AEW pay-per-views, you might have one in general. After Hangman won, we got this obviously. I do not flinch. I do not. Where does Double or Nothing rank for you in terms of best AEW shows? It's their opinion. The main event was incredible, but if they think it's match of the year, then they think it's match of the year. Yeah, in terms of story wise, I think it was fundamental. They did a lot really well. They did a lot. They were adding to the stories, which they don't often do. I like that they did this. I think Okada versus Bayley was my match of the night, and that says a lot about the main event. But pure wrestling is my match of the night from a story perspective. Ospreay Hangman is best match on that perspective on the card. It's right up there with my favorite AEW pay-per-view. I don't often just rank shows in general. I'm only ranking AEW shows because it's AEW specific. But my favorite pay-per-view was still 6 years ago. That's how hard it is for AEW to top my favorite AEW event. I don't know. Revolution was perfect. Yes. A minus. It doesn't get any higher because of the tag matches. Just to prove a point, like what my favorite AEW show is still. Wembley last year is in there. This, like my top 5 is Revolution last year, Revolution this year, Double or Nothing, Full Gear 2020. I think 2022 is the one that stands out. But my favorite AEW show is still this. This will always be my favorite AEW event. There's just something about it. Yeah. Oh, the Moné Meteoro spot was incredible. Good to see you, Abel. But yeah, my favourite AEW event will always be Full Gear 2019, the first Full Gear. Because Cody Rhodes gets absolutely shafted on that show as well. The Predator entrance was fantastic. Well, there's 6 Double or Nothings now, so, well, 7. Double or Nothing 2023, the first Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing last year, Double or Nothing 2021, then Double or Nothing 2022, then Double or Nothing 2020. What happened to Joe? He came round the back because he wanted to get his hands on Claudio. Divide and conquer. Yeah, last night was number 7. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 24, 25. The first one I'll always enjoy because that ending is one of the best endings to a pay-per-view ever. Oh, of course they will. You shouldn't be saying that about a company. You're not wrong, Smooth. I actually might go back and watch Double or Nothing 2019 tonight. Like, rewatch it. I do have a theory who I think is going to be the last AEW opponent for Chris Jericho before he leaves. Like, I do have a bold prediction. TNA's been around this year for 23 years. But TNA, like, after what happened last night, makes me cry. Let's see, has it got what I'm looking for? I might have to do it from here. Hold on. There's something I'm looking for. To answer your question, Fletch, where it all began. Him. This right here is who I would have as the last AEW opponent for Chris Jericho. His first pay-per-view opponent. For me, it's Kenny Omega. I don't know why they allowed it. The president is sitting there as well in the arena. The absolute spanner. Yeah, it's still 23 years. The company was still founded in 2002. The company never, like, disappeared or anything. Let them watch wherever they want. In circumstance, let them watch wherever they want, but I did not watch Battleground because NXT can go fuck itself. Absolutely. No TNA talent should be losing a title to fucking NXT bums. I know Scott D'Amore would love to have Jericho, Omega, Copeland, and Christian Maple Leaf. Of course he would. Josh Alexander as well. He'd love to have him back. So do I. I think he will. And I think you'll see Chris Jericho dial it back up because remember, people wrote Jericho off before he wrestled Ospreay, and that match was incredible. Omega versus Alpha, the real Alpha. It's a shame because before all that, TNA were doing fine on their own, but WWE fans won't realise that. The WWE moron fans, not the normal ones that use their brains. Or the ones that actually understand. What's up, David? Yes, they are. That is true. The rebirth of the NWA is going strong. The NWA has multiple territories under their banner now. The NWA must get the WWC in Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. I'm actually glad that they're doing well, all considering when people thought they were going to get fucked over after the cocaine spot. So I'm glad for them. Absolutely not. If Kenny Omega's his last AEW opponent and he goes back to WWE to retire, I've got no issue with that either. Nah. It'll always be Jericho. Jericho's the alpha. Takeshita is just the Dominion. I think the feud's going to be Takeshita versus Alexander. Not if you want to succeed in wrestling. NWA is the oldest company in wrestling. It's NWA then AAA. Oldest in terms of like oldest wrestling companies, it's NWA by a mile, and then it's AAA. Then I'm sure it's WWE. Probably. I think he will. Is that? I thought the NWA was older. How old is? What's the difference between those two? 1933, CMLL, NWA. 1948, the NWA. Interesting. I know they were the two oldest promotions, but I wasn't sure which one was in order. I was watching an old NWA match the other night that was incredible. I was watching one of my favourite NWA matches earlier on. And I'll be watching it again straight after this. I think Moxley will end up back in WWE at some point, Stampede, just because they'll want that Shield moment. You know they will. Yeah, it's early 90s because of a falling out. What the heck? That's quite the tweet by Mina Shirakawa. Yeah, I look back at segments. I look back at good segments, but I do look back, yeah. I would put him on Ring of Honor. '90s wrestling, for most parts, has its strengths and its weaknesses. It's the best segments, but not the best wrestling. Well, the early '90s had the better of the wrestling. They revived it, yes. But to be fair, that's because nobody wanted to pick it up, which was embarrassment. Okay, what's this? Alright, this is good news. Still Latimer, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, Tom Latimer's still champion. He's not a bad champion, to be fair. What was that? Aye, so this little thing's good. That's right. Women of Wrestling and NWA are joining together. Yep, and too many interference matches, which were just really shit. Nah, that's overdoing the group. That overdoes it. So Jim Ross has said that he doesn't plan on retiring. He would love to continue calling AEW pay-per-views, and he would like to be at All In Texas. Good to see. I think he would just to see Rollins and Bitch Boy. Yeah. The only good thing about the early 90s was you had the better wrestlers. They did revive the promotion, but it wasn't extinct. It was just revived. I think they can do better than Billy Corgan, though. Claudio, Alexander, Omega, Hechicero is what I want. All in all, incredible pay-per-view. Thank you, AEW, for this one. Loved it. 30-second break. And then we're going to... Well... We won't do an awful long review on it, because again, it'll take... I don't want to take too long, because we're now at 3 hours. Ugh. Luckily, we don't have a lot to do. Oh, Hechicero's... He's so good. I watched his match with Zack Sabre Jr. for Forbidden Door last year. Yep. Seen it all, watched it all, it was great. The only thing that was bad for them was what happened at the very end. No. I don't think he should go back, but I think he will, just because they'll want the ball bag spot. They'll want the Shield reuniting for one night. To be honest, I'll probably just watch Raw back tomorrow, like before I literally go live. Oh, we got another new subscriber. Hold on. Okay, hello, I've just subscribed back to you. A new subscriber, we have the Juggernaut Show. Thank you so much. 333 subscribers now. So we've made like 5 new subscribers on the show. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. You are all absolutely fucking incredible. Free fun times. Aye, welcome all our new subscribers. Wrestle Coup earlier on, and obviously the Juggernaut Show. I'm going to say David is a new one. I haven't seen I don't think I've seen David in here before, but to everybody who's watching this, thank you so much. We are now going to review Under Siege. You guys have asked. You are going to get it. What is the Raw card for tonight? I'll give you it just now. No problem. So tonight's Raw, Seth Rollins in a Money in the Bank ladder match, just to let you know. Well, qualifying match. We have... There we go. Yep, this one here. So, Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Chad Gable versus Dragon Lee and Penta in the other qualifying matches. We have the World Tag Team Championship Triple Threat match. I agree, David. I sadly agree, and that makes me sick. Akira Tozawa versus Rusev. And we have... that's all, I believe. Lots of triple threat matches tonight. It's their era. You're good the way you are, my friend. You're good the way you are. I will be watching it because obviously I review them all. I might have to start bringing back SmackDown so I can tear it apart, but I stopped doing SmackDown for a while because I just got so bored of it. Jim Herd was bad for WCW. Oh, Jim Herd's booking was fucking ridiculous. You can't go outside the ring. You can't hit the floor. Jim Herd was a fucking cock tease. I'm just afraid, yeah. I'm glad you're here, though, Smoothrism. You're a good laugh. SmackDown can honestly suck a duck, and I give no fucks. Oh, I have already before. I'm trying to add more to the channel because I do like obviously sit in fun shows, review shows, gaming shows. I want to add so much more. Saudi shows are banned on the channel. I just don't care about the Saudi stuff. I never have. They're just glorified house shows that offer nothing to the wrestling world. So we're doing that. So who is worse, Jim Herd or Vince Russo? Both of them. Vince Russo was just a bloody doormat who couldn't understand shit. Jim Herd is just an absolute weirdo. Huge weirdo. Saudi's literally 2K brought to life. That's one way to put it. Right. Let me quickly go back to this thumbnail. It says preview. Obviously, I selected the wrong one before we went live. It's meant to be this one. So at least we get that. But I will check it out. I will check it out, David. And yes, Abu, you're not wrong. Chelsea Green getting injured is why I fucking hate how WWE book their matches. We're going to take a quick 30-second break. Should Collision move definitely to Thursday? Would that kill TNA? I don't mind if it's on a Thursday because then I'll just start reviewing Collision again. But I don't think it kills TNA. They've got the financial backing anyway. I don't think it kills it, but they're on separate networks. It doesn't really do much. So, 30-second break, and then we're going to switch to this. So, 3, 2, Okay, right then. Let's have some fun. It's a good thing Ziggler's better than every single one of them. Like four? 4 or 5? Collision was really good. It's not technically a pay-per-view either. Under Siege is more of like a TV special. TNA only run 5 pay-per-views. Like, as an actual pay-per-view, TNA only do like 5 a year. Vince Russo's ideas were just, they were complete fucking bonkers. But Jim Herd, like, some of the stuff he brought in was just disgusting. No, it was just an event. It was just an event. The actual pay-per-views, it's not that. You'd be surprised. That was a bloodbath. It's essentially just a special. I like when it's just 5. If it's just 5 pay-per-views, it's fine. A couple of specials here and there is okay, but officially as pay-per-views, 5 or 6 throughout the year is enough. Especially for talent and getting around and having fun. Russo couldn't book a wet blanket. Honestly, that's how bad he is. That's very true. Oh, don't worry, Abu. It's a terrible decision. It's an absolute terrible decision. Right. Let's. Yeah, like he's a good guy. It's a shame that it's now banned. It's a shame they've now basically went excessive blood is now banned, which is ridiculous. If you want to put respect on kayfabe, you get the wrestlers who destroyed it to apologize for breaking it. There's a top tip. You know, like Triple Beak. Yeah. The Royal Rumble's going to end up like 2 nights. Survivor Series is going to end up like 2 nights. And it's going to feel worthless. hmm Okay, right. So, I don't review pre-shows, so we'll leave it at that. We'll go through it. There's not a lot to get through. There's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 best match, 6, 7, and then 8, 9. Becky Lynch entered the chat. hmm hmm Matt, that's too good. That's too good. That and the 8-person tag. Santana consistently has the best singles matches for TNA, but that and the 8-person tag I think were the best matches by far. Bill Watts was a good promoter. He went back to the basics. He just didn't listen to the fans. What did cut the loss from what he did? He really fucked shit up, like absolute spanner. Why have scrums in the first place is my only thing. Because I wouldn't have them. You know, I wouldn't have them. Oh yeah, Santana is the main guy for Santana's the main guy for TNA. When I look at TNA's roster, he's one of my main five that I'm like, you build it around. Like he's one of them. Like I said it all along, like for the past year plus, the best feud TNA have, the best feud is Santana versus Mustafa Ali. That should be your world title feud. The best match TNA done of all year so far, that falls count anywhere. The dog collar is second. Santana is the heartbeat, yeah. Was there any drama? Not really. Mercedes Moné called out Toni Storm. Toni Storm had absolute humour. The questions were pathetic as always by people in the crowd. They need hit with baseball bats. I'm not a fan of the scrums. Never have been. I don't think they're good for wrestling in general. Because all you're doing is inviting horsewits into the crowds who actually don't know anything about pro wrestling, and then the ones who do know about pro wrestling don't even get to ask a question. So you suffer shit listening to people who say it's orgasmic that you're going to get Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm. That person should have been ejected for that one comment alone. That is just cringe. Absolute fucking cringe. Okay, opening contest, as we say, Mike Santana, who's supposed to be up against AJ Francis. Thank God we don't get that. Does wrestling have real press? You just have content creators and people who have media accounts that claim they are. I would generally say not. I wouldn't say as good as it is. They have some, but not enough. When you base your main media off Frightful and Body Slam, then you may as well take an elbow drop. She didn't ask any questions. She wasn't there at the scrum, thankfully. She's incredibly short, put it that way, and I know firsthand. Because I've met her. She's incredibly short. It was supposed to be Santana versus AJ Francis. Of course, he pulls out. No worries, Fletch. Catch you later. I like that we got the better match. Casey Navarro needs to get away from Francis because Francis offers nothing to the product. He's not entertaining. He's not a good wrestler. He's not a good promo. He's holding Casey Navarro back. In my opinion, we were getting shit on a stick. Oh yeah, we've already got the finale. Yo, Mo, what's cooking, brother? You missed us reviewing Double or Nothing, but at least you get to hear me review some decent episodes of Under Siege. But I won't be doing this one for too long because again, 3 hours, 16 minutes in. I'm probably going to go like maybe another I don't know, half an hour. I don't need to do much on this review except say fuck WWE. So there's the most important one. If you like watching younger talent wrestle and get their reps, get their moment of enjoyment, watch Casey Navarro. He's actually a very good young talent. He sells really well. He takes the roll in the buck lariat and he takes the spin the block like he'd been shot in the face with a sniper rifle. Excellent young wrestler. Excellent young wrestler. I thought this match sums up why Casey Navarro is the future of the X Division, but also why Santana is the mainstay for TNA anyway. Really liked it. I thought it was really well done. All in all, I'm happy with it. Mobland is phenomenal. After the match, we get a respect moment. Well, it's kind of a tease, really. Are we going to get respect from Casey Navarro and Santana? No. We get a sneak attack. Again, I'll tell you what, this was produced well. Becky versus Lyra is a piss take match. Absolutely, I agree. Navarro has to get away from Francis. Casey Navarro's an excellent talent. I love Mobland. It's so good. I love Mobland. It is genuinely a fucking good show. Up next is the worst match on the card. Just telling you now. Eddie Edwards versus Cody Deaner. Again, this match went far too long, and the fans in this match are brainless morons because they're actually cheering this melon fucker on. They should have been cheering the heel because Cody Deaner should never ever have been allowed to continue wrestling. Oh yeah, it's nothing like the game, thankfully. See you later, Fletch. The Cody Deaner's wrestling career obviously is over. We got a Boston knee party from Eddie Edwards. 1, 2, 3, game over. Thank God he's done. The end. Move him on. Goodbye. Following a simple humiliation tactic after the match, the entire system comes out to mock the jobless Deaner. The Northern Army, which is yeah, exactly. It was just something that happened. It shouldn't have happened anyway. We get the Northern Armory again, good faction. Eric Young with the lads themselves. They're actually a decent team. I actually like this team. Against the system, Northern Armory win this, of course, defending the honour of Deaner. Again, we didn't essentially need it, but we got it. We can live with it, we can stick it, and we can shove it. Alicia Edwards, again, or as I call her, the talking squirrel. Her presence is unfortunately felt. She's really horrible. I'm sorry, see when she speaks, either a cheese grater is being used or a squirrel is talking because her voice is painful as it is. It's systematically embarrassing. Up next, following this, is Pain itself. It's the Elegance brand versus Spitfire. Championships versus team career. Again, I don't often say it, but it's the right result. Spitfire had to go. Dani Luna should be on her own. I hate the Elegance team anyway. I don't rate them. None of them can wrestle. None of them have got good characters. None of them can speak. Whoever beats them, I hope it's soon. I'm hoping it's the two new signings, Harley Hudson and Myla Grace. I just can't stand the Elegance duo. I've never rated them. I just can't do it. The only good thing about this match was Dani Luna going back solo. I'm eager to see what happens to her. I think she has to. I want to see her and Indy Hartwell competing for the title spot, like the main single spot. Exactly. I hope she goes after the World Championship. It's long overdue. We get video package before the 8-person tag, which is coming up. We get the video footage of Mustafa Ali injuring Ace Austin, who's obviously now no longer with the company. Tragic. Absolute tragic. Surprisingly, Raj Singh was the mystery opponent, but that actually stands out. I did like the match. I thought, in terms of who stood out though for me, Mustafa Ali again. He always stands out. Indy Hartwell stood out, and Tasha Steelz. Tasha Steelz is brilliant. Indy Hartwell's settled in really well quickly. And Mustafa Ali's just, he's an untouchable. Yeah, he sold it brilliantly. It's just a shame that he's now gone. I like this spot in the thumbnail. Like, this spot is incredible. Indy Hartwell and Tasha Steelz standing on the backs of the 6 men. Like that was crafty. Like, that is a good spot. Like, that is wrestling at its finest. But of course, how do you win the match? Mustafa Ali with the best 450 in the business, excluding Leon Slater's Swanton 450, just a standard 450. There's nothing better than Mustafa Ali's. It's a godsend move. The weirdest match of the night. The worst match was Edwards versus Cody Deaner. The weirdest was Ariana Grace versus Tessa Blanchard. Oh yeah, 100% Darius. Who do you reckon should retire the Hardys? The Rascals. Yeah, it was horrible. Ariana Grace showed that she's not ready. Tessa Blanchard is a bitch, but she's still one of the best to do it. It was really bad from Ariana Grace. She didn't get it at all. I feel bad for her. She was overexposed. You can't do that to someone like that. It's not right, especially when she's not actually an in-ring wrestler. She's more of a valet for me. She got exposed badly. It was just painful. She should never be a wrestler, Smooth. The Lucha Bros retire the Hardys would be desperation, but a funny kind of desperation, I suppose. What benefits do you think come from freestyle matches versus choreographed? You get to see whose brains works quickest and best in certain scenarios. And freedom to move. It was shit, dude. Time for a real bombshell, folks. Masha Slamovich's worst ever TNA title Knockouts World title match was this. The formerly known as Alicia Fox, Victoria Crawford, this was horrible. Tessa got injured like afterwards. She got injured afterwards. That's why she wasn't at Border Brawl. Her injury is bad though. The match between Masha Slamovich and Victoria Crawford, this was horrible. Like, Masha Slamovich really needs opponents. That's not her injury, Stampede. Her injury is much worse than that. This is her injury. This is the injury that Tessa Blanchard sustained. It's nothing to do with a concussion. Yeah, that match was incredible. That's why I love it so much. But yeah, she didn't compete at Border Brawl because she suffered temporal mandibular joint dysfunction, or TMJ. No idea how you actually get that. I don't know how that works. Alicia Edwards used to be seriously good, and I thought she was going to come in and have a good match here because she was wrestling, but it was so bad. And another thing that's bad about this, that Robert Stone is not in charge of TNA, and he's making on-screen authority decisions. I fucking hate that crap. Yeah, she's an incredible performer, but the person, Jesus man, like you would love to kick her in the Long Island Sound. Yeah, it's It is a horrible injury. 100%. It's a horrible injury. I don't know how you get that. hmm Oh, but yeah, this match was awful, and I can't even say anything. There's so much interference. There was so much non-statement wrestling. It was You could generally go for a shit, and you would still come back to this match. That's how bad it was. Ah, fuck. Ow, ow. I mean, to be fair, she does have a big jaw, but this is still a bad thing. I'm glad that at least she's immediately called out a proper opponent, Li Ying Lee. I actually think that'll be good. But then obviously that moron who doesn't even have power says it's not happening. She needs to earn it. I don't get why he's making decisions. Santino Marella is a director of authority. This is such an undermining decision. I actually hate this crap. Tessa's out for the time being, but I don't know how long she's out for. I don't know. Yeah, she's got the Reese Witherspoon jaw, that's true. Oh, 16 likes. Thanks, everybody. Up next, we got a little extended but brilliant video package for Sabu. If you've not seen this video package, I do recommend watching it. It's actually very well done. Follows me on Twitter, Sergeant Slaughter. We do get the co-main event. There's only there's only two good wrestlers in this match, I should say. I nearly said three, but that's a lie because it's not Jeff Hardy, it's Matt because it's Canada. But Nick Nemeth versus Leon Slater makes this match worth watching. Matt Hardy, you're finished, mate. You need to be taken out behind the woodshed. And Ryan Nemeth, you suck. Like you suck, mate. I'm sorry. You're lucky your brother's world class. This match was simply put back to back tag matches because you get this in the tag match main event. This match was simply boring. Unless Nick Nemeth and Leon Slater link up, the rest of it's worth a skip. You can do better. I generally cannot stand them. I really can't. He's the best young British talent already. He's got a long-term contract though. He's somebody they need to build their divisions around. That's why I stand by on. They need to. Main event. Well, we know what happens now, but we get a short video of Santino and his daughter. They've challenged Blanchard and Robert Stone to a match. Obviously, we're not going to get that straight away. We get Trick Williams who comes out for commentary. The TNA Tag Team main event, Abu, is Elijah and Hendry versus Williams and Kazarian. I didn't like it because of what follows. Because I did say to you, I did like it. Oh yeah, he's broken Matt for real, absolutely, because he's broken down. Leon versus Javon versus Nick Wayne. Yeah, I can see that. I think out of all three of them, Leon Slater is the better of the three. I generally think he's the better one out of the three of them. Leon Slater should have won the X Division title from that bum Moose. This was 20 minutes, by the way, and this is where I actually would have made a change here. I would have done the TNA World Title match on this show, but I would have done Kazarian gets the pin and wins the title instead of what happens the following night. I said to you guys on the TNA Impact review show, whoever wins the tag match will then lose the title. That's what annoys me even more. Quite simple. You just have the match in a neutral location like MLP. Neutral location, fun times, you have the match, game over. You don't need to even leave their companies to do it. Joe Hendry and Elijah would win, simply with the standing ovation. Elijah was the star of this match. Simply put, he is the star. But it's just horrible throughout. That what follows this is eternal pain. And of course we get the Battleground. Under Siege was actually okay. It could have been better, but that's just literally it. It could have been better, but it was just okay. I have to do a little bit of a discussion Abby on Battleground. Simply put, if you're going to change the TNA World Title, you give it to a top heel in TNA, so the top babyface can go after and actually win it. The top babyface is Santana. The top heel is Mustafa Ali. Awful title change, awful decision, pathetic, and what a way to kill your company and kill the fandom. Santana winning it from Trick Williams, it doesn't feel special now. It would have felt special if it was Ali losing it to Santana. But yeah. But apparently I'm offended by it because I hate it, but it's not the case. This would be a perfect triple threat tag match. I'm not offended by it. I'm broken by it. Basically. I mean, to be fair, she is a weirdo, but she's also a good character. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a consistent good audience throughout tonight. Obviously, I'm not going to go as long as Matt did, because that's just not happening. I'm not going 6 hours 40. But what I will do is... Oh, 100% he is. I'm going to... Why does it matter? The title may as well just be chucked in a bin now. The title's worthless because it's on the hands of a clown. I can't simply put it. The title, his values went from world champions to a development talent. He should never have won it. It'll have to be Santana now that wins, obviously, from a babyface perspective. But he should be winning it in his big feud, not from some clown that isn't good enough to hold a title. The two women's matches, on Battleground were quite good. The Obafemi Miles Born match overperformed. The tag match was decent. That Miles Born, I hear good things about him. I liked his promo a couple of weeks ago. I saw a clip of it. I quite liked it. Stephanie Vaquer obviously outclassing Jordan Grace. I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? Like, I know she outclassed her because I saw highlights of it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to get out here, which obviously I really appreciate your company this evening. It's been a fantastic show, all the way through. I will be... Yeah, that was a disgrace as well. That was a horrible, horrible decision. I don't know why they made Arquette do it. It was stupid. Yeah, but then that's heel to heel though. Ali's been a heel the whole time. We still need like Santana and Ali must feud for the title. I hope not. I think it's Indy Hartwell. I think Indy Hartwell's the next TNA Knockouts champion. If he had been in TNA, then yeah, but not in NXT. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be back tomorrow to review. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back tomorrow to review Monday Night Raw. He was leading to it. He was basically leaning in because they kept teasing it, but he was still like he was like borderline. He officially turned like full heel inside the cage though when he eventually lost the title. I'll be back tomorrow to review Monday Night Raw. I hope you guys will be there with me to enjoy the festivities of, well, me talking about it because again, it's not. I doubt it's going to be good. But at 11:13 p.m., I say thank you. God bless to the Steelchair community. You guys are all incredible. Every single one of you. I'll see you tomorrow, and we shall see what it says across the road. Thank you, my friends, and I will see you tomorrow. And if you've never seen the video intro before, you get to see it on the way out. Goodbye.